Have you ever been completely exhausted, yet somehow your brain refuses to sleep? You're lying in bed at 2 a.m., replaying a conversation that ended hours ago. You rewrite your answers. Imagine different outcomes. Prepare for arguments that may never happen. The strangest part? You already know you're overthinking. You know it's stealing your peace, but your mind keeps pressing replay anyway. So why would an intelligent brain trap itself inside thoughts it can't escape? The answer is far more psychological than most people realize. Most people think overthinking is simply thinking too much. Psychology sees it differently. The more accurate term is rumination, when your mind gets stuck replaying the same thoughts without reaching a real solution. People often hear things like, "You're too sensitive. Just stop thinking." But research suggests something completely different. Highly intelligent and emotionally aware people often have stronger pattern recognition abilities. Their brains naturally search for hidden meanings, possible outcomes, and potential risks. The problem isn't intelligence. The problem isn't this mental radar rarely switches off. Neuroscience points to two important systems: the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and decision-making, and the default mode network, the brain system that becomes active when your mind starts wandering. When the default mode network takes over, your brain begins replaying memories, imagining conversations, and predicting future problems. It's like leaving dozens of browser tabs open all day. Nothing crashes, but eventually, everything slows down. Here's something even more fascinating. For many people, overthinking didn't begin in adulthood. It started much earlier. Imagine growing up in a home where emotions changed without warning, where making small mistakes brought harsh criticism, or where you constantly had to predict someone else's mood. A child's brain adapts. It learns that staying alert means staying safe. Over time, scanning for danger becomes automatic. Years later, that same survival strategy follows you into adulthood. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's simply using an old survival program in a world that has already changed. But not all overthinking is harmful. Psychologists separate it into two different forms. The first is reflective thinking. This is healthy. It helps you understand yourself, learn from mistakes, and grow emotionally. The second is brooding rumination. Instead of finding answers, your mind keeps replaying the same pain. You don't move forward. You simply relive the same emotions again and again. That's where sleep disappears, confidence fades, and even simple decisions become exhausting. One reason this cycle feels impossible to stop is because your brain quietly rewards it. Every time you analyze another possibility or imagine another outcome, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine, the chemical linked to motivation and reward. Ironically, your brain feels productive, even when it's solving problems that don't actually exist. That's why just stop thinking rarely works. You're fighting a habit that's been reinforced by both psychology and biology. So how do you break the cycle? Not by forcing your thoughts to disappear, but by changing how you relate to them. One powerful technique comes from acceptance and commitment therapy. Instead of saying, "I'm a failure," say, "I'm having the thought that I'm a failure." That tiny sentence creates distance. It reminds your brain that thoughts are experiences, not facts. The second technique is grounding. When your mind races into imagined futures, bring it back to the present. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 sounds, 2 smells, 1 taste. Simple sensory awareness interrupts the mental loop and reminds your nervous system that you're safe right now. Perhaps the biggest misunderstanding about overthinking is believing it's a flaw. In reality, it's often the result of a brain that learned to stay alert for survival. Your goal isn't to eliminate your intelligence or silence your sensitivity. Your goal is to teach your mind that it no longer has to stay on guard every second of the day. Because healing doesn't begin when your thoughts disappear. It begins the moment you stop believing every thought deserves your attention. If this video helped you understand your own mind a little better, let me know in the comments. And if you know someone who constantly fights invisible battles inside their own head, share this video with them. Sometimes understanding is the first step toward peace. I'll see you in the next video.